Well, good morning. It is, I guess, 7 o'clock. The sun's just starting to crack. I've done 26 and a bit kilometers since midnight last night. Well, around midnight last night. And I am knackered. So there we are. When the sun comes up, I'll get back to you and talk a little more. So this has been a monumental task. It's around 3 in the morning when you feel the worst, or when the challenge is the greatest, whichever way you look at it. So I'm leaving. I've done the first 26-ish since midnight last night on tarmac, just for safety reasons. And it's getting late now, so I'm a bit into the return leg, and I'm going in the desert now. So I'll be very happy if I can do this in under 12 hours, but don't kid yourself. 50 kilometers through the night into the next day is a monstrous task. It's lonely, it's dark, you start imagining nonsense. You hear all sorts of noises coming from the countryside. It's full of animals that are either, I don't know, either killing each other or shagging each other, one of the two. But there we are. When the sun's up, I'll get back to you a bit more, tell you my feelings, my musings. But here we are, a new week, a new day. I'll find enthusiasm from somewhere when the sun comes up. So have a lovely day, everyone. It looks like there's miles of this kind of thing now. Mile after mile of this. What I would say is this is exhausting in every single way, emotionally, mentally, testing, challenging. It is a monster task. Food. I did, in my mind, load up on protein. Before I did this, I had 2 large meals of steak, asparagus, sweet potatoes, and blah blah. One in the afternoon on Sunday afternoon and one on Sunday evening. Frankly, they weren't needed. In fact, they did nothing but hinder me. It made me tired, it made me lethargic, and I didn't need that. I could have just carried on eating normally, small amounts, and just as I was doing, and I would have handled through the night the first 25 kilometers of this task. I would have managed it fine, just eating how I have been for the last 8 to 10 weeks. But look, this was exactly to do this, to learn lessons, and lessons have been learned. I'm guessing I will arrive home, barring injury, around 11 or 12 o'clock. And I am still saying, if I can get this boxed off under 12 hours, I will be amazed, because I am dropping off my feet at the moment. And but I'm keeping the speed up. I'm pressing on. It won't stop me. It won't slow me down. And I needed this. This is exactly what I needed. This challenge, this test. So you know, it's part of my training. It may be part of yours. It may not. But it's part of my preparation for elite marathons, extreme marathons, whatever you want to call them. Remember, it's 2 every day in the desert at Morocco. So yeah, it has to be done. Well, I'm not even gonna try and fool anybody that this has been easy, because it hasn't. And there's been times I thought I couldn't go on, but I did. 25 kilometers in the dawn every day, I'm used to and can handle, and it's okay. I'll get that down to about 4.5 hours, but to double that through the night, in the darkest of the night, when you think it can't get any harder than this, and then it does, because you suddenly realize you've got another 25 kilometers to do when you turn around and head backwards. But look, yeah, it is what it is, and I didn't give in, and I've still got 20 kilometers to go. But there we are. It is difficult, it is monstrous, it is grueling and punishing, but this isn't the last one of these I'll do. I'll handle the food better next time, and I won't overthink it, but this is a learning curve, and trust me, 50 kilometers in 12 hours, that's assuming I make 12 hours, is a gargantuan ask. And also, truthfully, a top tip, I did forget something, and this was the worst day I could have forgot it, or the worst night I could have forgot it, and that was calf compressors. I've had the most amazingly, excruciatingly painful cramps in my calves after about, I don't know, but I don't know whether it's got something to do with tiredness, lack of electrolytes or whatever, but I don't know, well into the night I had the most excruciating calf cramps. It doesn't happen with calf compressors, of course. So there you are, top tip. If you're going to do what I did and go from 25 to 50, which I wouldn't recommend, I would do it in increments if I did it again, but I've passed that hurdle. Wear calf compressors. You will save yourself a lot of pain, a lot of limping, a lot of hopping, looking stupid, feeling stupid. Don't forget your calf compressors. And I would take every precaution you can. For instance, I went to the local police and said, look, this is what I'm doing on Sunday night. I have locate my phone turned on. Is there any possibility you could check up on me? And about 7 this morning the phone rang, and of course it was the police saying, are you alive or dead, and laughing in the background. And to be honest, I had to laugh with them, but there we are. Because of course, no matter what, I couldn't pussy out of this. Once I'd set off, there was no turning back. I had no one to ring. In effect, I didn't know where I was at. If I broke a limb, broke an ankle, something like that, if I couldn't be located by locate my phone, I was actually Donald ducked, but there you are. So take every precaution. I will say that after about 6 hours, 5-6 hours in the dark on the same road, it felt like a Roman road, it was so straight, going towards Cordova, I started to, I think, hallucinate a little bit, and you know, my mind would wander, and I think it's all part of the process. Extreme marathons are called extreme for this reason, but like I said earlier, doing this again I would have increased it by 5 kilometers every couple of days, or a couple of kilometers a day, until I reached the 50 goal that I had in my head. It's done now, I've done it. That's if I get home. But I've broken it back. I'm sure I'll get home fine. But if I get home by 12 midday, I will be a happy camper. Well, I've got 7 kilometers to go, and I've got a second wind, I think. Oh, shut up. I've got a second wind, I think. So I think I'm on ground I now recognise. I believe this is the Valley of Gold, or Valle de Oro. So I'll press on. This hasn't been easy, but it's doable. It's not meant to be easy. Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Rabbit over there. I think I recognise this ground, and I'm still following the GPS, but I do think I'm in the right direction now. I do have to crest that highest hill across there, that's no problem. Highlights of the night, stopping at about 5 o'clock and going into some bushes and having a good rub down of my crevices with wet wipes and just standing till I dried. And another highlight was occasionally a square of Kendal mint cake through the night. It got rid of the indigestion as well that I developed after eating so much. I thought I was doing the correct thing in having 2 large protein meals on Sunday afternoon and on Sunday evening. I shouldn't have done it. But there we are. That were the highlights, and as I said, the occasional square of Kendal mint cake and the clean myself up. Like I said yesterday, clean means comfortable, and it did feel good. It felt great just to get clean, get my crevices clean, face clean. It felt great. So there we are. I'm going to press on now because I do want to get back in the house before midday. So I'll sign off until tomorrow. I hope there's been some hints that you found useful, maybe some tips you found useful. And please look below this and click the subscribe, click the bell, and follow me on social media. And if you're training for the Marathon des Sables, I know how you're feeling. So goodbye until tomorrow. Well, but for a couple 100 yards I'm home, and in under 11 hours it's going to look like 10 3/4 hours, give or take minutes. I'm over the moon. I'm also knackered. So thank you for bearing with me through this video. Come back tomorrow for a more sensible one.